Hi guys, welcome to Second Opinion, where you get a heads up on what to watch and what to watch out for. When I saw this movie on trailer, I thought it looked pretty good, but I kept my expectations in check because after all, it is an Amazon Prime movie. Well, it does remind me of Edge of Tomorrow, but it's definitely not as good. If I have to compare this movie to something, I was reminded of a buffet. Let me explain. So imagine you're going into a buffet because the price of admission is really low. It doesn't burn a hole in your pocket. So you go in there and you're surprised at the number of dishes there. And let's say an hour or two later and too many scoops of ice cream later, you get back home with a little bit of regret. You're stuffed but not satisfied. And that kind of sums up what this movie was for me. This is a lot of movie. If you look at the runtime, you'll know it really felt like a 3-hour movie. So if you're up for that, if that's something you're into and you're in a mood for, and if you're a Chris Pratt fan, then you're absolutely gonna love this movie. It's pretty much your guy next door, maybe along with his family, trying to save the world from aliens. Would I recommend it? First of all, the good part was definitely the actress alongside Chris Pratt. I think her name is Yvonne Strahovski. I'm pretty sure I butchered her name, but I'll put her picture up there. I haven't seen her in any other movies, and I was thoroughly impressed. She can do action, right? And at the same time, she can really emote. And I felt that she's a genuine actress. And interestingly, just like The Edge of Tomorrow, she's very much like Emily Blunt with the talent to match. So that's definitely a good thing. Like I said, Chris Pratt, he's good. I don't know if he had too much to do in terms of character here, but he's likable. And I feel like he's the same way in many of his movies. So you're going to instantly like Chris Pratt. Everybody else is fairly forgettable. I did think the little girl, his daughter, did a fair good job. Every time she was there on screen, I bought it. Right? The little girl has a bright future ahead. Now, overall, the story, fairly interesting. You'll see the premise in the trailer. People in the future is coming back to the present time, drafting people for a war. Fair enough. However, where the story loses itself, I'm not going to give any spoilers. It's just that I'm giving you a warning for a lot of plot holes. So don't go into the movie taking it too seriously, even though I felt the movie wants to take itself seriously. But the more they try to explain, what the aliens are and what their strategy is, some of the machines and tech that they have, you're going to start scratching your head. Speaking of that, there were some plot holes that genuinely made me laugh out loud. So it was unintentional humor. And, they have the characters that's supposed to be humorous. And I don't think a lot of the jokes land. They don't lean too hard into the comedy, so it's okay. Speaking of actors as well, you do have J.K. Simmons. When I saw him in the trailer, I really wanted to see more of him. I was excited to see, beefed up J.K. Simmons back again. I was ready for that. Now, if you're a huge fan of him and you're expecting to see a lot more of him, you might be kind of disappointed. Now, am I saying this is a terrible movie overall? Not really, but I will say it's a forgettable movie. It's not one of those buffets that you go in and you have a lot of dishes that you remember. You just know that you're stuffed, but you may not go back again for second serving. Now, in terms of the theme of the movie, I did like, there is a theme about fighting for the future, which is probably now, right? Where all of us sometimes look forward to a greater and better future, and we're willing to fight for it. And so we don't enjoy the present, or we don't value what's around us. And I think, that's the journey that the movie's trying to take you through. But I think in the scheme of things, that theme does get lost among all the CGI, which is good and bad. The aliens, the action scenes, the flat dialogue. But, I nevertheless liked the fact that the director was throwing in something like that for us to grasp onto that felt real. And that's my problem with this movie. Of course, a lot of things you just didn't buy into it. The danger did not feel real. They tried to portray that this is a global problem, but you don't really get a sense of that. I mean, that's another thing with this movie. It's just like in a buffet. Sometimes you don't just get to enjoy that one dish that is well made and memorable. And they try to fill your plate with a whole bunch of things. And the end result is nothing is too memorable or exciting enough for you to want to come back. Now, I will say another good thing though about this movie is, although towards the end, I mean, it was 1 hour and 45 minutes in, and the hero was just learning about his mission, right? So even the audience is kind of, you're all over the place till that time. And I'm thinking it's 1 hour, 45 minutes, and it looks like the hero has a new mission. And that seems to be the point of the movie. And then, nope, they change it around again towards what I thought the movie was supposed to end. They go on another mission. And I thought they're going to set it up for a sequel, and I really didn't want them to do that. But what I did appreciate is that they did end the story as much as they could. Did I hate it? Absolutely not. Fair enough for a one-time watch, so I'll give it that. But it does not have replay value for me. Now, if you're in a mood to kill a lot of time and you just want to watch something, you want to turn off your brain, this is a perfectly okay movie for that. But if you're going into this movie thinking about movies like The Edge of Tomorrow, or trying to get some substance out of it, or you want to think about things, it's going to leave you with more questions, and the plot holes are going to annoy you more than you're going to get entertained. So go in with low expectations or even no expectations, and I think you'll have a fairly good enough time. Is it worth the war? Maybe just once. You are going to feel stuffed, but not necessarily satisfied. Those are my thoughts, and I want to know yours in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.